Hey everybody, it is that time of day for our daily walkthroughs, and we are at he's informed me, don't even say the Ongoron, he's just MacDavid now. Interesting. Okay, so he has two figures going on here that are really coming along. I'm not sure, he does have the title on his, it's called The Raven and the Frog. And I'm guessing this is a nod to literacy or poetry, probably showing my ignorance by not knowing the reference of The Raven and the Frog, unless the Raven is Edgar Allan Poe. He's working on detail right now, and he's got a unique style that we're going to go around to the side and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so maybe style wasn't the right word. What I'm referring to is how the heads, when you look at them from the front, they look 3D, and as you walk around, they're not. They're very thin, which is a little bit more difficult. You can see how straight up and down the back of that head is. It's a very unique execution of the way he's doing this sculpture. Okay, we're with Abe Waterman from Canada. One of the things we talked about yesterday was that they are judged 360, front and back. And you'll notice that some of the sculptors will do a lot of detail and absolutely beautiful from the front view, but then when you come around to the back, it might just be a flat wall. You can tell that they don't spend as much time on the back as they do on the front. So it really helps in the judging process when we're judging, something like this, where you come around and it's a completely whole another sculpture on the back side. And that's what he's doing now. He's blocking out the back side. And this is the one, we're going to go take a walk around the front and show the reference to the two characters back here. This is the front of Abe's sculpture. And if you remember seeing it yesterday, it wasn't nearly as detailed as this. The figures are really coming along nicely, and he does still have a little bit of that key in between the two heads that he will slowly take out. Very visual effect is pretty awesome there. And it'll be even more awesome when there's space in between those two foreheads. Oh, and wait a minute. Okay.
What are you going to say?
About referencing it to the back.
Okay. And go.
And what I meant when I was on the back side and talked about the reference to the front of the sculpture, he's not just putting something back there that doesn't make sense. It's part of the message and the meaning of the sculpture itself. We talked about how the sculptors give us their explanation of their piece, and those two, I see, to me right now, this appears that two men are fighting, and then when you go over to the back, he has blocked out two men shaking hands, so that it references the front of the sculpture. It means something. It's not just something there just to put something on the back of it. Topacio from Rhode Island, and you can see that he's working on a lot of detail. And what that means when they're working on a lot of detail, and if it takes a long time, sometimes they have to, they do have to think about how much time they have left and what they're going to spend a lot of, the rest of their time finishing. He has two piles of sand left, the one that he's sitting on, and this pile over here that hopefully in his original plan that it's something that's not going to take as long as it does take to do a lot of detail.
Go around the back?
Sure. And on the back side of Steve's, you can see that he has detailed out a lot of the bones now of the hand, which wasn't done yesterday. Well, wait a minute, I did the second half yesterday, so maybe it was done and I didn't have the opportunity to see it yet. We are with Remy from Bulgaria, and beautiful, beautiful piece she has going on here. The attention to detail in the flowers is really nice. You can see that she's starting to creatively use the rest of her sand so that it is actually part of the sculpture. One thing I do see that I hope she polishes off a little bit, maybe that's not the right word, the foot. I find that the foot is, I'm hoping she thins it out a little bit. But otherwise, very nice. The face, so pretty, so beautiful. Elinege Beauregard from Canada, and wow, very impressive. My goodness. Those of you who don't realize how difficult it is to go straight up and down on the sides, that's 8 feet straight up and down. Oh my goodness. And heavy on the top. There's a lot of weight up there. But I love she already has a title on it. It's called Teen Age, 2 words. And then below that, Broken Between Childhood and Adulthood. And I want to hear her, another one that I'd love to hear the description of it, but very, very effective. I'm assuming it has something to do with Facebook and cell phones and just being caught in that world where the connection between child and adult is broken. Hi, we are with Helena Bangart from the Netherlands, and she is moving right along. She's another one that has the straight up and down on the sides with a lot of weight up there. Hers is a little bit shorter than the one we just looked at with Mélange, but still adds to the degree of difficulty. And really nice. I'm looking at it now from a different angle, and I'm guessing, what I'm seeing is the woman's head is on a pillow, and she's holding the baby. You can see Helena doing a lot. She's doing the blocking out of the woman's arm right now and making the connection between the woman's hand, and the baby itself. Everything has to be in exactly the right place. If you take off too much sand, then you sometimes can't put it back on because you lose the integrity of the pound up itself. Some things can be added back on, but not something this purposeful as the hand connected to the baby. That has to be there to make the concept work. Okay, we're with Joby from Canada, and if you can hear in the background, I'm reminding you that we are at a festival, so it gets a little loud every now and then. If you look back at yesterday's video, Dan did his walkthrough right at this position, this exact position. So we're showing you the difference between what this looked like yesterday and what it looks like today from the same position. And you can see that his pieces are all connecting. And this sand is an amazing sand, but it is difficult to make it look smooth. And Joby, he's a master at smoothing out the sand. It's really phenomenal. This is really cool. This is one of those that I just look at and go, wow. And as a sculptor myself, knowing how much weight is in these features right here with the undercut and narrowing at the neck of it is phenomenal to me. We're going to take a walk around on the other side and see what he's got going over there. All right, you can see Joby working over here on this side, and this is one of those sculptures that is completely 360. Everything is completely sculpted all around. He's using all his sand, but he's doing something over here that's very interesting. There's nothing in the rules that says they can't use the normal natural beach sand. The natural beach sand, if you look over to this ball that he has going over here, you can see that's darker. And what it does is it creates a visual effect when you put that dark sand against the lighter sand. So I'm guessing he's got something going on like that. He's making a hole over here. This is one that I'm really going to be interested, of course, in hearing the description of his sculpture. See, he's wetting down the natural beach sand in there, and it makes it really, really dark. He's also undermining this one right here, which is the largest one, so that one has the most weight up on top of it. He's just playing crazy, Joby. Every scoop he takes out of there is less and less support for that big ball up there. He certainly pushes the elements all the time. But, you know, we always keep in mind, too, that all sand does have its limits, even this sand. Okay, so Bob and I is standing on the seawall because I feel this sculpture is so much more powerful and visually impressive from this vantage point, from this view. When you get down close to it, you don't see this beautiful flow, really nice details. He's got a technique over to the left of the figure that he just does a little bit of water texture on it, and it makes it a different color, makes it look like it's a different color, gives it a little bit more shadow. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. He does, though, have two very large forms he still has to take off. So we're going to keep an eye on that, but it's really very, very pleasing to the eye for me.